All right, what's good, everyone? We are back with another episode of the Black Boy Joy podcast. I'm Devon Tenneform, your host, and today we are welcoming Kalil Bennett.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
We'll give a little introduction.
I'm Kalil. I am a junior from Baltimore, Maryland, studying political science. I'm also a Robert W. Woodruff Debate Scholar here at Emory. And I'm on the NAACP board on the Political Action Committee along with Basil.
Yeah, and then speaking of Basil behind the can, we have Basil with us today.
What's up?
And he's going to be chiming every now and then to the conversation, you know what I'm saying? But fortunately, he's working the camera, so we can't see his face.
Yeah.
But so you got a cut for the podcast.
Of course, man. You know I had to go get right. You feel me?
You want to shout out your barber?
Hey, man. Shout out Ajax at Cutter's Lounge.
how much that cost?
Man, let's not get into that.
All right, so he's energy's right. We already off to a good start. Excuse me. But last time, if you tuned in, if not, it's okay. We talked about what is Black Boy Joy. So in the spirit of that conversation, which for me was personally very insightful, I'm curious, Kalil, what is Black Boy Joy to you?
I think to me, Black Boy Joy is just being who you are unapologetically. You know, I write a lot. I've started writing on Substack about just like thoughts that flow through my mind. And one of the first things that I wrote about was just doing what you do and not caring what other people think. And I think that once you can break that mold of trying to see what other people think about you, you can truly express yourself. And that is like the root of Black Boy Joy, just being expressive of what you think, of the things that you want to see in life. That brings me so much joy.
Nah, so that actually very much touches on what we discussed last time in terms of finding joy in what is unapologetically you.
Yeah.
So in that same vein, what is that source of joy for you personally?
I think I find it in a lot of ways. First is like humor and making people laugh. I know that like as a person, I'm just wired to where everything is funny. There's always a joke to be made. Like even the worst situations, like the glass is always half full.
Yeah.
You know, so that's been my thing. But also just like material things, just bonding with my friends. Like I collect colognes, so I do a little something on the side.
I was gonna say, right, don't forget about the colognes, bro.
I do a little something on the side, collect colognes. But yeah, just try to find things that interest me and that I can dive into.
All right, smooth. Basil, you want to touch on that, bro?
Yeah, I mean, with me, it's mostly about keeping yourself right before everything else. I mean, I think I really value people and community. That's why I do media and pictures and everything of that nature. I mean, it's a very grounding, very fulfilling, but very, engaging and cooperative medium. So, like, the same way I try to pursue my passion is the same way I try to express to others as well. Um, and it brings me joy because, like what we're doing right now, like if someone could see an image that's like a short-term thing with a very good reward, whereas like I'm studying for like a long-term goal. Like papers I write now might not get published, but like photos I do now will.
Mm.
Yeah, very, very insightful. But getting to the topic of today's video, so what we're going to be discussing is tribulation and then how we utilize joy as a response to that, to work through it, but also just general things of perseverance, you know what I'm saying, how we as Black men do persevere through the hard times. So shifting into that topic, Kalil, are you comfortable like opening up about maybe like a recent hardship you've had and then how joy or even something else has been your sort of weapon to get through that?
Yeah. I'll say a recent tribulation that I've gone through, maybe heading into my first semester junior year, was losing my great grandmother. And so like it was very hard for me coming to school and dealing with that because that was one of like the first like major losses that I dealt with in my life. And like coming back to school, I kind of dreaded it. I was like, why am I here, etc. And then I touched down. I saw my friends. Engulf myself in the community that I had, and it made everything that much better because I was able to see my guys. I was able to just like exist and like just be free of like all the weight that I had on my shoulders, and that allowed me to push forward a lot stronger. You know, just having that community around me, just having somewhere I could just like crack a joke, it just happened somewhere I could just, speak my mind. It was amazing to have.
Now, it sounds like this was like a process to get through.
Yeah.
Obviously. Now, is there like a particular moment where that jump started for you? Or was it more so like you came back and then automatically just being embraced by everyone around you, it sort of clicked?
I'm not sure. I think it's definitely been like gradual. I think it's definitely like opening up to people, just like, slowly getting back to like that norm. It was something that was like very rewarding for me, just like because, it's hard to deal with grief in college, but also to do that in a PWI where like you don't have the craziest support system in terms of your teachers, but you can lean on your friends outside of that to push you through it. It's like, it's very rewarding.
No. All right, bet. So, and then even going to this topic, I was finding interesting in just how you grew up, like in your interactions with your parents. From when did you hear about them about how to approach times of hardship? Was that something that was ingrained into you, or was it like a mentality you developed on your own? How did that come to be?
Yeah, I say I definitely get my mentality of like get up and get it from my dad. So he graduated early from high school and he didn't have a plan. And so he didn't have anywhere to go. College wasn't working out for him, but he found the Air Force. And so he was like, I need to find something to get me off and to get me started in the right direction. And he took that. He took an inch and he took an inch and took it a mile. Like he stayed in there for 24 years and came out with a great support system, supported me and my brothers. And so and even like practically, he would wake up at the crack of dawn and take us to school every morning, just like being consistent, just showing up. That was like it meant an insurmountable to me, and to showing me and my brother how to fall, but how to get back up and make something of it.
And even for me personally, I had like the same experience. Like, did my parents instill those values in me? Yes and no. No, in the sense that they never explicitly told me, okay, things are gonna get harder when they get harder,
Right.
do A, B, and C. But it was very much in that same vein of it was more so by watching them and what they did that I learned how to apply that to my own life. Like my mom, she works in medicine, and when she started in that field, she was getting seriously overworked to the point where like after work she had energy for nothing else. And yet, despite that fact, she found the strength, just like your pops, to like get up and do it all over again. And at the same time, taking care of me and my sisters. And just watching her day after day, seeing what she was going through, how she responded, and how she found a will to get up, that very much, I say, sort of cultivated the same values in me, especially in regards to school. Not to trivialize what I'm going through, but also have the mentality of if my mom did it, then I should be more than capable of doing it as well. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all go through our own hardships, you know what I'm saying? No, every individual struggle is unique in some sort. We're all different people. But at the same time, I very much believe that the principle is the same.
Yeah.
And that's, Basil, did you want to touch on that? I'm curious to hear your own thoughts, perspectives.
In my life, can you repeat the question, please?
First it started as just in times of hardship, how do you navigate that? Like, what is your source of joy, or what is your defense against tribulation?
I think my defense is definitely like finding a way to recenter. A lot of the times, like I was in the preceding college, I was in the same school for 13 years. I had pretty rough times there. Not like it was a PWI. It was oldest school in the country, actually. And so, tradition and bias was very hard against me. But what my mom would tell me at the start of each day was, be who you are. Like in like a little Black Panther quote, T'Challa, be who you are, or show them who you are. And then knowing like there are people who would unconditionally be by my side throughout what I'm doing, whether it be, like my mom who's immediately there, or my grandpa who passed. That was also, like, he passed when I was like 7, but he had the name Basil as well, like same birthday, same name. So it was like a little like spiritual gift. Like I was able to carry everybody with me familially, and then also to be able to like really continue. It's about knowing what I'm doing my work for, in terms of doing sociology and politics. Being able to, you know, see trailblazers in the fields I want to pursue, do their thing, even in film, like seeing a Ryan Coogler, seeing in law, seeing Ben Crump, seeing, you know, trailblazers, seeing even someone like Bernie Sanders or like a Zoran. Like there's a lot of, you know, left political progress, even amidst like a time where we see like it may not seem like there's much hope. And that's what keeps me going for the most part.
Hmm. Now I'm curious because something that I found is that in times of hardship when I'm going through something, it very much does help to communicate that to somebody else. Even like not even looking for no type of support or anything, like because they can't do anything in a lot of cases, but just
Yeah.
being able to voice your struggle aloud makes the load easier. You know, I feel as though speaking it aloud, not that it's not serious, but if you can speak it, it's definitely something that you can overcome.
Yeah.
Do you have that same experience when it comes to tribulation, or is it something that you more so keep within yourself?
Yeah. So I think I definitely I don't try to, but I find myself keeping it in more.
Okay.
But my strategy rather is to just find moments to where I can reward myself. And so like I'm more of I'm gonna work hard, put my head down, and when the time is right, I'm gonna make sure I get that reward that I've been looking for. Right. So like
Right.
it can be as small as just like, hey, I had a good week. Let's Uber eat something to the crib. You know,
Yeah.
like let's get something out of the norm to keep me going and to keep me on that right path, because I know that like incremental rewards are going to lead to bigger success.
Like, I can't lie. I'm kind of the same way.
You feel me?
Yeah, because I don't really open up for real about like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
in the rare
It's
moments,
hard.
in
Like-
the rare moments that I do, it feels, but like just getting there,
Yeah.
it's sometimes difficult. You know, it's crazy. I can't really articulate it, but I definitely see what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
head down, grinding, and then getting that reward. So what is that reward for you though?
Oftentimes it's Panda Express. I
It
can't
is.
lie. Anybody that knows me knows that if it's a Friday afternoon and you see a car pull up in front of the Alpha House, they dropping on some Panda Express.
Yeah, I see.
Like, hey, double orange chicken, double fried rice. Give me a plate. You know, you can go through my Uber Eats, bro.
Bro, I had a feeling, bro. I done seen bro eating that Panda Express, bro. So would you say like, in the spirit of joy and like going through tribulation, would you say that is, I guess, an element of joy or an avenue for joy that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I always love the food. It turned into something that like I enjoyed regularly.
Okay.
But in terms of college, in terms of like eating healthier, getting what I need, it's turned into something that's like a healthy cheat meal almost.
Okay.
Like a healthy way to congratulate myself for a hard week of like, I know that this is something I really love, so I'm gonna save it for when I'm feeling very proud of myself.
That double orange chicken do be.
You feel me?
Hey, man, the few times I had it, that joint be,
It
you know what I'm
hits.
saying? Nah, but what about you, Basil? Like, what's something that is a source of joy that keeps you going when things get hard? I'm curious to hear.
A source of joy for me is probably like, it's a mix between like hobbies and probably food too. Like, you know, I live in Harris, but whenever there's like a good night, trying to celebrate, maybe go to Woody's with my homie Nathaniel, get some Wingstop.
Yeah.
Check out. Well, we check what the buy one get one free deals are talking about that day.
Okay.
But you know, it's usually somewhere around that type of thing. But what gets me through as well is like on the point I said before about inspiration. It's like I feel like social media has so many downsides, but for me, there's like a lot of positives in like the distribution of so many ideas.
Mm.
So it's like if I'm even feeling down in a day and need something to keep going that's like rewarding, I'll see like how I could pursue like visual arts, for instance, or like see what other people are doing, because I'm I'm really happy if my people are up, you know? Like I look on LinkedIn, I see my homie Jason getting everything he's worked hard for, and it's like that'll make my day. I'll look on Instagram, I'll see, oh, this person found out this intuitive way to get this angle, get this color grade on a video, and it's like, wow, like I love that we're able to, have outlets like that and be able to amplify our own pursuits while also leaving space to congratulate others and be really, really impassioned in seeing like each other's success. Like, you know, I'll ride for my homies, my homegirls, and especially in a place where like we go to college and we disperse around the country, just, going back and even send a little text reconnecting with my people everywhere.
Yeah.
No, no, like I like that perspective actually, because I know a lot of people find LinkedIn to be intimidating,
Yeah.
but that theme of sourcing that motivation and that joy from other people and seeing their accomplishments, which is something that happened with me, honestly. Like being in a business school, there's very much an internship rush. Like if you don't get an internship, you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
And me, I fell victim to that mentality as well. And I'm not gonna lie, for a time, especially like when I first started college and I didn't have full lay to learn. Thinking about internships, I'll go on LinkedIn. Boy, you a freshman talking about you going
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs,
Right.
JP, and it's like, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? Because I like to think I was in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
And granted, I didn't know everything, but I was doing the best that I could. But just over time, accepting things for what they were and just taking what I would see on those type of platforms as motivation.
Yeah.
And then I got my own eventually. And it took work, but also having that source of, instead of, man, they get that. It's
Right.
like, if they could do it, why can't I? And developing that mentality. And also when my friends is doing good,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
It pushes you.
It does, because you congratulate them. And then also, like, it gives you a really big opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got this opportunity, bro, I love that for you. What were your steps? What did you do? And then through that, I eventually got my own,
Yeah.
which I believe is a very important aspect. Not just joy in the context of struggle, but joy in general. You know what I'm saying? Finding joy in not just your own successes, but other people's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn the question on to you. How has doing content related to your experience of Black Boy Joy and just like getting through tough things?
I would say for me, it's very much an outlet for you. Talked about earlier, but like being who you are, regardless of what anybody else think, and that's very much what I do on my page. Like I recognize that not everyone's gonna resonate in person. What I do, what I like, what I say, and that's just a matter. That's a fact of life. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's my audience.
Yeah, we all different people. Whereas social media, it's thousands, millions of people. It's bound to be a lot of people who are interested in what you like.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, pull up my phone, talk about a random topic that I enjoy for like a minute, 2 minutes, and it's gonna be somebody out there who appreciates that, or give inspirational message to somebody out there who needed to hear that. And I would say my favorite part about doing it, besides being able to share my passion with other people who had the same interest, is when I get those messages of like, hey, bruh, this really helped me out. Or people like, hey, I need advice for this in the gym. Or, hey, or it's a simple message like, hey, bro, I love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And that's really what keeps me going, because it's like, you can't let the opinion, and it's not just for like content, but anything in general.
Yeah.
You can't let the opinion of others around you stop you from having an impact on what could be hundreds of thousands of people.
For sure.
So that's very much my, you know what I'm saying, mentality.
That's tough. Would you say, because I know like in terms of the fitness world, it could be hard in terms of like constant comparison, like how seeing that grow. Would you say that like those messages, those like making those videos, would you say that that's helped you like strategize to overcome that?
I would say definitely,
Okay.
in the sense of practicing what you preach. Because you're right, like in this age of social media, just overall, like not even like your like fitness, but like cars, houses, this, that, and the third. Comparison is everything. Comparison is a thief of joy. Like you spend your life longing for what somebody else wants, you're never gonna appreciate what you have, and you're never gonna get what you could have beyond that. But doing what I do, telling people that you're not gonna start looking like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It forces me to adopt that type of mentality, because I can't tell you one thing and believe the other.
For
So
sure.
that's very much been transformative in my own journey, which is still ongoing, because it really never stops, which is why I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Because you show it every day, and the goal is to be better and not just in the gym, but it bleeds into other aspects of my life, which I really enjoy.
Come on now.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I wasn't expecting that question. That's why I'm a little, you know what I'm
All
saying?
good.
Usually I'll be the interviewer. But really just to move things toward wrapping up, usually I wanted there to be a takeaway from the overall conversation. So I'm gonna pitch it to both of y'all. But just what type of mentality or what advice do you have for people who are going through something? And then how can they utilize joy or even any other sort of factor to work through it?
Yeah. I would say just look at where you are in relation to where you're going. That's like one thing I always try to think about when I'm faced with adversity, when I'm going through stuff. I'm like, okay, here I am in this moment, but also I know that there is a bigger plan for my life, and that this moment is just a small trial to get me ready for a bigger battle, you know? And I think that can be applied to Black Boy Joy like very easily, in the sense of like, you know that like trials and tribulations are gonna come. But if you know that there is a purpose for your life that is bigger than whatever struggle you're going through, it's gonna make it a lot easier to get through that. Because it's like, hey, you know, I may be going through this right now, but I'm gonna look back at this time in my life and I'm gonna smile and say I got through it. That's always something I've been looking back at. And it's just like, I continuously remind myself that every time I was faced with a mountain, I've climbed it. Or if I fell or failed, I always found a way to make a win out of a loss, you know? And so just having that mentality of whenever I fall, I'm gonna constantly get back up and I'm gonna work at it, because I know that they're like tough, you know, like tough times don't last, tough people do. And just embodying that has been really rewarding to see throughout college.
Yeah. And Basil?
Yeah, I think it was what we should take away from what we said. That's the question.
Yeah, like to anyone watching.
Yeah, I think it's similar to what Kalil said. Like having all these elements of what we talked about be part of how you could have a degree of like stick to itiveness. Because like a lot of these are just to reinforce like self preservation through like external means. Um, I think especially especially knowing what you value, what your core beliefs are, what keeps you going in terms of passions, are what will sustain you. It's like I believe Lewis talked about it last episode. Like if you're doing something, learning something, or living in a way that you just aren't interested in, then what's the point? Because it's not in the long run going to be sustainable. And I'm a strong believer in it's about the journey, not the destination. And so if your journey's messed up and that's, the most of what you're doing, that's your day to day before you hit a certain goal, that's majority of your time spent living in an environment or in a lifestyle or a point of view that you are not really embodying that's not representative of your true self, not representative of how you want to feel, maybe not representative of how you want to engage with others. So I think keeping to your core, having a certain set of beliefs, having a certain set of standards, especially being in college, as people who, like, in light of like AI and other things, are able to take the easy route, having that degree of integrity in the face of everything, whether you're at a high or at a low, to be able to, continue on your trek to wherever you got to go.
Yeah. Hey, mind if I say one more thing?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I touched on this in a Substack that I wrote.
Okay.
But to anyone out there that's like facing tough times, you have to speak life into yourself. Like you have to affirm yourself that you got it. You got to affirm this yourself that you're him, or like you have all the tools and capabilities to be successful. Because if you can lose sight of that, losing sight of it is easy. Reminding yourself of it in hardship is a lot harder, but it's also going to be a lot more rewarding towards you in the end. So like if you can speak that life over yourself and to continue to give yourself grace and to, pour into yourself even when you're not in your highest moments, that's going to be very rewarding.
Yeah, and before we cut it real quick, I actually want to touch on something you mentioned in the course of your, last remark, but talking about how in those times of hardship, it's hard to recognize or like affirm yourself. And one thing that's really big on me in fitness, we like taking progress pictures.
Yeah.
But that just doesn't apply to like your body, but it could be anything, you know what I'm saying? Find a way to document your progress, because when things get hard, you're going to think, bro, I've been working however long, I haven't seen no progress. But if you go back to the documentation and you see that like stack of evidence, like the card that you've built to prove that, okay, things might be rocky now, but if I take things back, I look at how far I've come. I have prevailed in the past and I'm prevail again. And that will be the case from now moving forward.
Yeah.
That makes it so much easier.
Can I take it one more time?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So I feel like that's very similar for me, especially like documenting progress or like being in a field where like you could see the progress because of me putting out photos and videos. Things aren't cool till they're cool. Like it's gonna be corny
Facts
until it clicks.
Facts, yo.
And I was in school throughout high school, taking a very cheap camera to school every single day, finding random angles of my classmates, angles of things I want to do, doing a little documentary each semester. And it's like, I look back and it's like, wow, the exponential growth that like you look back and it feels like yesterday, but while you're in it, it feels like an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And so just like, again, knowing where you want to go and having pride in while it's happening is what could really sustain you. Because like one more little story.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was like last spring was very depressing for a lot of us. Like something really tragic happened for me. I also had another loss. And like I've had awards for photography and film other places, but I was very shy about my work. And I didn't really feel like those awards like fulfilled me. And this is a notion of community too, especially as a takeaway being on an NAACP podcast. I like didn't know what I was doing. I was about to quit photography, and like my friends are really the ones that kept me going with that. And then like I also got honored by the NAACP then. So having or for like I got the award at the gala.
Yeah, congrats for that, by the way.
The Image Awards.
Yeah, the first year Trailblazer. And I also had a picture up in Cox Hall. And those mattered more than me getting so many other things that I got because of where it was and at the point it was. So it's not even just about finding stuff that helps you keep going, but knowing that the smallest things that you could do for others and building community and having spaces like the NAACP are able to be that outlet for other people. Because that's also what I wrote in the nomination thing. Like I was here thinking like, oh, my media is not valued. I don't feel like I'm doing enough with how many people pass. Like, what am I doing writing these papers when, I can't help what's already been done, like in terms of politics and stuff. But then it's like, wow, my people see me. That's very, very, very enriching and like very like, strengthening. It's just fortifying our, collective link. Like, especially Black Emory, especially NAACP, we're as strong as our weakest link.
Come on.
All right, well, we just hit time, so we gotta wrap it up. But I appreciate y'all joining us for this next episode. Thank you, Kalil.
For sure. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Basil, of course.
No problem.
Without your camera work, this would not be happening, and also for your insight as well. It's a wrap on the second episode. Cut it.